Hello gamers, in this video I am talking about a game I have quite a fondness for, even though up until this day I have never completed it, and I'm not too sure why that is, as it didn't turn out to be a very long game. But anyways, the game I am talking about is the masterpiece also known as Mirror's Edge, a revolutionary game for its time. For many reasons, one being that it was back when EA actually made half serviceable games, and two, it being the first good first person free running game. And I think the game's kind of like a first person shooter, but it's not really, because you can't really shoot people because you'll just die. And it is still to this day the best first person parkour game out there. Now, if there is one thing that a good parkour game needs, that is controls. And it does upset me to report that this is one of the only downsides of this game, at least for my playthrough of it. And obviously I feel like there could have been many reasons I had issues. That being A, I'm just bad at video games, there's always a chance. B, I was using a keyboard and mouse, and perhaps this game just plays better on controller. And C, my original keyboard I play with had just stopped working. So for the first half of this game, I had like some $10 e-waste adjacent keyboard that I wasn't really used to. And for the last couple chapters, I had received my new keyboard, but I was still in the process of getting used to it. Of course, Mirror's Edge has a story, but even though I had only just finished the game about 3 hours ago, I can't really tell you much that happened in it. Like, it was there, and the story isn't good, but it isn't bad. It's serviceable. It is based around a runner called Faith Connors trying to free her sister after she was framed for the murder of Robert Pope, a mayoral candidate. But the story is really just a vehicle for what this game truly does amazingly. And that is, of course, the parkour itself, or more to the point, the movement in the game. Now, I know just a couple minutes or seconds ago probably, I went on about how I had problems with the controls, but that sort of made it even more rewarding when you are able to string together an amazing set of 3 or 4 jumps. You can make Faith feel like the most fluid parkourist ever. It also adds to a fair amount of replayability to the game where the story doesn't add, as you can constantly find different routes or runs and ways to do stuff throughout the game. And then when you run out of ideas yourself, you can always just go watch YouTube videos to learn other people's routes. Just don't watch the speedruns, as a lot of them do this weird jump, kick, fly glitch combination, which is fast and it's cool looking, but it's not parkour, is it? It's flying. That brings us swiftly along to the world. Which, with the help of the art style Mirror's Edge has chosen, the world still looks great after all these years. For the most part, the game looks like it could have been released today, if you ignore Faith's hands, which always look a bit blocky, and the cutscenes in their oddly chosen artistic style.
Say again, Officer Connors.
Going to see Pope. Robert Pope. Taking a statement on that break-in last week? Yeah, anyways, it's 56 West Arlen Drive. Tell Lieutenant Miller.
Copy that. I'll relay the message, Officer Connors.
Thanks. Connors out.
Hello, sis.
You there, kiddo?
Hey, Mark.
I bet you're listening to the chatter.
You know me.
Try and get some sleep. It's been a rough
Mirror's Edge takes place in a location referred to as the City, an extremely large, futuristic-looking dystopian city. The game has gone through a large change in the time of Faith, as she talks about when the city used to be different, more dirty and dangerous, but at the same time, more alive, which I guess somewhat describes our modern day cities. Yet the city that Faith finds herself in now seems to always be clean with very little people around, even though the city seems to be roughly the size of the Tokyo metropolitan area, which has a population of 40 million. Yet where you go is completely empty. Like, for example, one mission has you going into a shopping center and there is no one there apart from yourself and the cops, which the games refer to as blues. And even though the city is empty in terms of people, they seem to still be building outwards. Like, there's New York, the city that never sleeps. And then there is the city that seems to never stop building or renovating, as almost every building or hallway you break into has equipment set up to be doing renovations to add to the white, green and blue and orange city, which is the only colours you see apart from the rare splat of red paint, which is the sign of the runners. I have already mentioned how clean the cities look and how the graphics still held up, and I feel something that helps a lot and if done wrong has the power to age a game very quickly, and that is the lighting. This game is just so beautifully lit, and I feel even though these days it's like listed as a downside, but this game does have a static lighting system, which really helps, especially with the hardware the game came out with. Leaving a computer to generate a dynamic lighting system just wouldn't have worked as well. So instead, you can have a group of people that make sure the lighting is perfect for that time in the level. And since it's not an open world game, you really don't focus on the fact that the time of day or the sun isn't changing, as you're too busy running. Running from the blues, from the city, from old friends, running to a better life for Faith and her sister. You just don't fall off the edge.